Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host Gamer K, and since it's going to be a couple days before, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to the people who see my videos and to anyone who this video reaches out to. 2021 is finally coming to a close, and I am going to end it. Well, not end it because I got another video next week in a very odd way. When I first started this channel, I had no clue how I was going to do said videos, so I kind of did videos here and there, figure out what worked. And one of my favorite videos, and honestly one of my not so well done videos, was my top 13 worst Grand Theft Auto 5 missions. And I'm going to keep in the tradition of that this year by going over the best missions to ever come out of San Andreas. No, Los Santos. San Andreas was another game. And considering this week that the new Grand Theft Auto Online DLC was announced, which, let's all face it, it should have been done for the next game and not for the online stuff. I'm just going to say that because they brought back some of my favorite characters, Lamar, Franklin, even Chop, and add some new characters. And no, I don't play the DLC. But going back to what I was saying, considering so many Christmases ago, I think maybe 2-3 years ago, I did the worst Grand Theft Auto 5 missions, I decided to go in and do my favorite missions from Grand Theft Auto 5. So, I'm going to, because of the subject matter that's going to be intruded here, obviously I'm going to have this, where is it? Nope. Okay, seriously, I gotta start organizing all these things. Oh, here we go. Warning, content only 18 and up may hear this. Some of them are okay, but again, it's Grand Theft Auto 5, so I don't want to take any, I want to take extra precautions. So, for the holiday season, it is time for Gamer K's top 13 best Grand Theft Auto 5 missions. And why top 13? Because here at the Game Hub, only the odd can be number 1. Let's start it off. I can think of no better way to start off the best list of the missions of the only Grand Theft Auto game I've ever played than with the very first mission. And no, I'm not talking about the prologue mission, which honestly was good. There just wasn't that much meat to it. I am talking about the very first mission of the main game, Franklin and Lamar, where we, after seeing Michael go through his therapist, talking about how shit his life is, we get a little brief interaction with him, with Franklin and Lamar. And Lamar, God help him, he is one of my favorite characters that is not playable in the series. I've said this a lot in the comments on YouTube videos and with the voice actor. Lamar better be in the next game, and they better not do him dirty the way they did Johnny D and everything. So, yeah. But the mission is very, very cut and dry. It's very, very quick. Basically, Lamar and Franklin are sent by Mr. Satarian, their boss, to go steal some very, very pricey cars. And it gives us our first little rendition of Franklin's special ability, which is to slow down time like he's in a frickin' Fast and the Furious movie. And it's quite a really fun mission. We have to race Lamar to the area. I mean, even if you lose, it doesn't matter, but it just gives you a little bit more of a boost. And then it teaches us how to get away from police, how to basically do all the driving sections and how to get away from the cops and everything, which is a really fun tutorial mission that's not so heavily padded. And it's just a good old fun and introduction to Franklin and Lamar. And that's only the first mission here, and the rest of them, okay, except for the ones that were on my bad list, the rest is just gravy. So, let's continue the list, guys. this is the only side mission that's on the list. And because I put a lot of side missions on the worst list, so there had to be at least one good mission for me, right? And there are a good number of good side missions. But the one I'm putting on this is with Barry, which is the Grassroots Missions. And there's 3 different ones. One with Franklin, where he collects all the weed supplies for him after trying his new high, and it doesn't really affect him. There's Michael, where he gets super stoned and then has to fight off aliens. But the one I love is Trevor's Grassroots mission, where he does the joint. And I love the interaction between Trevor and Barry, and Trevor basically saying that he can't take legalization of marijuana because it's going to ruin his business. I love it how he gets in the guy's face. I love it. And then when he smokes, it's basically my sister's worst nightmare, which is a whole bunch of clowns come after you and you have to kill them with a minigun that sounds literally like it's from a carnival. And you have to destroy the clown cars and kill a whole bunch of clowns. I don't understand why they went with clowns, but I guess a guy like Trevor, it has to be something that would terrify him, and something that's so fearful. I mean, obviously it was aliens with Michael, because of that whole trip thing with aliens for, some reason. But it's a really, really fun mission that is just buckets of fun. Just taking a fun minigun and just going at clowns and everything. I believe this is what would happen if Joker got his hands on this weed and did a little chemical engineering with it. But it's definitely one of the better side missions and definitely one of the more fun. Do I have to keep snapping my fingers? Just go to the next one already. The next one on the list is the first heist of the game. And again, it is one of my favorites. The jewelry heist mission is one of my favorite heists, and I really hope they bring back heists in the next Grand Theft Auto game and make them a little bit more intricate. The one I'm talking about is when, after we pull down a dude's mistress's house, we have to pay back in the amount of $2.5 million. And so we decided to do jobs again. Michael's out of retirement. So we decided to go for the jewelry store. And there's 2 ways of doing it. One is going loud and dumb. And the mission I'm going for is the one where it's done stealthily. Where we get a gas company vehicle with uniforms, and we get some knockout gas in order to pump it into the store, so everyone gets knocked unconscious. And yeah, it's pretty cut and dry. We get away from the cops. We go through the sewers into the reservoir, and then we just sneak into the backs of trucks that we got in order to get away. It's one of the best heists in the game, and it's the first one. So it definitely has the feel of the momentum that all the heists throughout the rest of the game are going to have. And I think that's a pretty good thing. And having you choose which direction the heists are going to go definitely impacts how you're going to play as a game. Either you're going to go stealthily, or you're going to go in, loud and stupid. One thing I do love about this is having to pick your crew definitely impacts the take that you guys have. Because if you pick people with not a lot of experience, you're going to drastically reduce how much you're going to get at the end of the heist. For example, if you pick the guy Ricky in order to disable the alarm systems, you're not going to get as much time. But with each heist, the people you pick will gain a little bit of experience. But in the long run, it's better to do the stuff correctly right off the get-go. So yeah, very good first heist. Sets a good tone for the rest of the heists in the game. And it's really good. Let's continue. The moment Trevor finds out Michael is alive and goes to Los Santos to catch up with an old friend is hilarious. And what's even better is having to stop his daughter from making a global laughingstock out of her, and the show Fame or Shame. Ah, God, I love parody jokes. I really do. And then have to track down and stick it to the guy, Laszlo. If you play the game and you know what happens, then you understand why we gotta take Laszlo out a little bit. And it's just good old it's good old fun. And in every mission, there's little side objectives that you can do, but they don't really tell you what to do until you complete the mission, which I think is a dumb idea. For example, punching out the valet guy. And, okay, yeah, so we chase down Laszlo, and we take his, like, the giant truck for the show. And if you can do the entire thing without detaching the load, yeah, it makes your car go faster, but you lose getting the gold. It's just good old fun having Trevor and Michael reunite in such a bizarre set of circumstances for this. And it's just overall quick and good fun. Next up, I know I said that was when he found out Michael was alive. This mission is actually where you fully find out he's alive. Having the jewelry store heist go into the news, and we get a very, very, very bizarre introduction to Trevor again in a very bizarre cutscene. Michael makes the stupid decision for one of the security guards. He says a movie line that he says in the beginning of the game: "You forget thousands of things every day. Make sure this is one of them." And having the guy repeat that line on the news, and while Trevor is getting down and dirty with someone in his trailer, and he hears it, memories start to come back, and a realization has finally come to the truth. Michael's alive. Now Trevor is going to make his move in the what is it? The Sonora Desert. I keep forgetting the area. By the Alamo Sea where he lives. It's such a deserted desert, hillbilly-ish town, but I still love going out there. I wish more missions were out there, to be honest. One of the best things in this mission is we get to go fully experience Trevor's notoriety with the locals in this area. From beating Johnny to death is bizarre. Him going after his biker gang and then just ramming a dude's trailer into the river and killing him. Stating that Trevor Phillips Enterprise is the only business around here and no one's gonna stop him. That's what I love about Trevor. He's a psychotic character, but at the same time, he's stable a good majority of the time. Like he makes sense, but at the same time, he's dangerous to be around. It's like a tornado. He's unpredictable and no one knows when a tornado is gonna form. So, yeah. One thing, and again, I love this mission in particular because it gives us a little bit more background on Trevor of what he's been doing in the last 10 years. And it's just brilliant. Stephen Ogg does a fantastic job as Trevor, and I would love to say that I am proud to have met all three of the main cast, and they did a frickin' fantastic job making me love each and every character. I'm just going to say that. And now, let's continue. I Fought the Law. One of the best later missions in the game. Once again, working for the asshat that was on my top 10 video game villains list years ago. Working for Devin Weston. We have to steal 2 more cars again from rich kids. Which... stealing from the rich, I'm all for it. And Michael has to get these kids to do an illegal street race, which is very, very fun and really enjoyable doing that part. And then we have to have Michael and Trevor... Michael and Trevor be cops on motorcycles and chase them in order to stop them and steal their cars. And I just love Trevor's comments as he's on the bike and just yelling at random people, "We're coming for you, bikers!" And it's just hilarious. And then we get to pick one of the three characters, Michael, Trevor, or Franklin, and race back to the auto shop where we're bringing the cars. And always, it's better to pick Franklin because he's got the slowdown ability when he's in a car, so it makes racing the other two a lot easier. And again, all the comments and the dialogue during this mission just brings a stupid grin to my face because it's so disgusting, but it's so funny at the same time. So yeah, definitely a really good mission. I wish more missions like this were in the game, but it's still pretty fun. We fought the law, but unfortunately, law never wins. Why am I making a joke about this? Just continue. Yes, another side mission, and this one is again from Trevor's perspective. The rampage missions are where Trevor gets pissed off by rednecks, the ballers, military, and you just gotta gun them all down, and there's swarms of them come. It's just and it just highlights Trevor's rampage ability, where he gets so heated and he does extra damage. And the one that gets on the list is one of the stupidest ones, but at the same time, it's one of the funnier ones. And it's downright hilarious. Rampage hipsters. Just because... Hang on, this video is 18 and up, so I can say it, right? Okay, good. After taking a hipster's phone and smashing it because he's wearing a shirt that says, "Yes, you are a motherfucker." And Trevor points out a good thing. If there's anything I hate more, is post-ironic hipsters. And no! Like, Trevor's interactions with the people and the reason to kill them, it's bizarre and it's out of nowhere, but it's just good old bizarre fun with Trevor. And I love how the hipsters have guns and they come out on their stupid scooters. It's downright stupid, but at the same time, it's fun stupid. It's bizarre, it's stupid, but it's all good. It's all fun. And I'm happy that this was the last of the Rampage missions, because they could have done like the FIB, they could have done something like that, but they decided to go, nope, hipsters. Because of what Trevor says in an early mission, that he hates hipsters. Yeah, this is a definite way to get out some of that aggression. Get to the next one already before I start laughing again. Tadia Libre. I have no clue what that means, but it's a fun mission that doesn't really have... It pushes the story again. Like, a lot of main missions, they kind of feel like they're an afterthought, but this one is definitely a really fun one. In order to make a little bit more money, Trevor and Michael go up to Martin Madrazo's house, and Trevor not meeting him before, like, the house is very beautiful. Like, if you can find it in the map early on, I would bombard it. And basically, Martine, as Michael's been told to tell the truth, is a terrifying psychopath who once tried to kill me. So basically, we gotta do another favor for him, and basically his cousin is going to give the feds evidence against him and he needs them back. He's flying out, so we need to take a high-tech sniper rifle that even Call of Duty couldn't get done, and just pop him out of the sky and retrieve the files. And I do enjoy, again, Trevor and Michael's banter during the entire mission. It's funny and it's definitely enjoyable. And so once we get to the top of the hill and order the sniper rifle, this thing is high tech as shit, and it is amazing. And then after we shoot it down 3 times, we gotta pop the engine. We are Trevor on a motorbike having to go downhill and everything and try not to get off the bike, jumping over a train and following the plane as it goes down, as it goes into Trevor's backyard, basically. So we go from the observatory all the way to Trevor's backyard, and it's just a crazy crossroad drive, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Especially when he goes by his house and he goes, "You better be working, Ronald!" I love Trevor, like, just the little nuances he does in missions and just walking around and driving around. It's all freaking hilarious, and I really, really enjoy it. What makes the mission even better is when Trevor tells us to change a plan and to meet him at a plant. And I don't condone what Trevor did, but I do agree with his reasoning for asking for a fair day's pay for a fair day's work. So the logical solution to that is kidnap the rich dude's wife and basically get booted out of the city until we pay him back. I really enjoyed that little bit of detail because after that mission is done, Trevor and Michael aren't allowed back in Los Santos because if they even step 1 foot, a bunch of Madraso's men will swarm us and start shooting. I love that little bit of detail. When things like that happen in a game, make it believable that you can't go and do side missions and everything in there. It just feels realistic that once that stuff like that happens, you're banned from that area. I wish more games would implement something like that, but sadly they don't. Next up, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Lamar is my favorite Grand Theft Auto 5 character that is not one of the main 3. He's a realist, basically. Like, yeah, his schemes are stupid and beyond idiotic. Although every time he's on screen, it's always a laugh riot. From his mannerisms, to the way he says things, to the way he explains how things go. It's disturbingly stupid, but at the same time, it's enjoyable because you want a friend like Lamar. He's an idiot, but you love him. Yeah. And Hood Safari is a fantastic mission with Franklin, Lamar, and Trevor. It all starts out with Franklin's aunt giving him shit and everything, and Lamar joining in. And then Trevor starts complimenting her, saying she looks like Franklin's sister, and then gives her some money to buy something nice. And she's all amused, and then it's $7. I said something nice, not expensive. Oh, I love that line. That is the perfect thing to do to a woman who's expecting money from you. Like, the minute you say, go, give her something nice, give her $7. I gotta try this one day. Although I might get slapped. So anyway, Lamar has a little business proposition to sell drugs and get them from a buyer. And Trevor goes along just for a little adventure and a little fun. And it's a good thing Trevor went along, because once the dealer gives Lamar a sample, they try to get the money. And then Trevor wants another taste of the brick of the drugs. The guy's not letting him. Breaks in half, and the drugs are in a little packet. So basically, it was drywall baked around the drugs. So you cut the little piece where the drugs are, and that would be the sample that they give, so people would buy drywall. And I love Trevor's little comment. Did we ask for a key or a fucking ounce? And then as the guy calls for backup, buyer's remorse, you can't fucking hustle a hustler. And I love Trevor for that, because if you think about it, if Trevor wasn't in this mission, they would have gotten robbed immediately. And then it's one of the more irritating missions because of how many people come. And we're basically going to war, and then the cops show up, and then we got to get away. I mean, you could choose between Franklin or Trevor in order to get away. Either way, it's all fun. And then later on, we find out that it was our pal Stretch who set us up. Luckily, it's still a fun mission. It's a really fun shooting mission and a really good getting away from the cops mission. It's irritating to do at times, but it's still such a fun, overall, great mission. And now we're almost to the top, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue. Damn it, I gotta get this thing fixed. Another heist near the top of the list, ladies and gentlemen. This heist is the one that Trevor sets up right when he gets to Los Santos. And I really do love it. In my opinion, before you do the mission where you reunite with Michael, I would start this mission a little bit. That way, because you're going to have to do a lot of work with the FIB, so it's a little bit better to start, get halfway through the setup of this heist. So basically, Wade's cousin Floyd works down at the docks, and there's some experimental stuff going down there by the company Merryweather, which are Merryweather security services. So they're basically bodyguards and a private militia guarding the docks. So Trevor gets a little information that they're guarding something that someone's gonna pay serious coin in order to obtain. We don't know what it is yet, but it's something valuable. So that tickles his fancy. And there's two ways of doing this mission. One, you, Franklin, and Michael all go on to the tanker, you sink it, snipe the guys on the ship in order to progress, and then you take a submarine and you go and retrieve whatever gets sunk. Or you can do my favorite one and go offshore testing site with the submarine in order to obtain what it is and then fight back the people who are trying to track you down. And one of my favorite parts about this is that you need to go into the military base to steal the big ass chopper. Now the thing is that you are gonna. This is my favorite thing of when I go to steal the chopper, because they're gonna chase you down with their own helicopters with missile launchers. What you do is you find the choppers that they will get first, throw some sticky bombs on there, and then go get the giant cargo bob. And then once it's in the air, once they get halfway, blow up the helicopter, and then you can make your quick getaway. Now this heist is really, really fun. Unfortunately, you will need to have Michael do the flying tutorials at the airport. And I'm going to say this, the controls for all of the aerial vehicles in this game are kind of shit. The helicopter controls are shit, the plane controls are okay, but it's the helicopter that has the shittiest controls in the entire game. And yeah, taking them makes the mission easier because it increases your ability to drive an air vehicle a little bit better and control it. And plus, stealing a submarine is all good fun. The way I love to steal the submarine is just take a sniper rifle, snipe the little cords that keep it up, and just go up and go in and get it. And it's just beautiful fun. And unfortunately, with the Merryweather heist, considering what we steal is a nuclear weapon, we have to put it back. So it's the one mission in the game where we don't get any money for doing the heist. And obviously that pisses off Trevor. But it's a fun mission nonetheless. And plus we get to screw over Merriweather. And all the little comments. And one thing I love about these missions always is the banter between the characters. Because I believe if a mission is just you doing the thing and there's no banter, there's no dialogue, it just gets boring. And that's what I love about Grand Theft Auto 5. There's plenty of banter throughout the missions. There's plenty of jokes. There's plenty of comments. And it just realizes that Trevor's the more sane one of the three. I cannot believe the entrepreneur is getting criticized from someone so lazy that he retired in his 30s. And this other guy who asks how far we gotta travel to get to work when he's taking a job he ain't even qualified for. With his generation being, you think you're entitled. You want the money, but you won't cross street to get it. That's what I love about Trevor. He's a realist. He's an insane realist, but he's a realist nonetheless. And this is one of my favorite missions. It's not my favorite heist, but it gets higher on the list because of all the banter and the amazing prep that you got to go through in order to get the mission done. Next up, top 3, ladies and gentlemen, and this one is definitely one of my favorite missions in the game in general. And honestly, quite possibly, it's one of my favorite missions in Grand Theft Auto 5 in general. Burying the hatchet. Right after we kind of do like a little bit of prep work for the big heist. But obviously some things happen. Trevor goes to see Michael and to see how things are, and they kind of go at each other a little bit, and you know how Michael faked his death and everything, and Trevor mourned him for 10 years, and then Trevor starts to put some pieces together, and because their pal Brad was put in the pen, however, it's very early that we find out that's not really the case when we're with Michael and Dave Norton, the FIB agent. But before Trevor leaves, he asks a very simple question that gets a big, big answer. Exactly who was buried in Michael's place? And that wording makes you think that Trevor actually knows and he's just looking for Michael to spill the beans. Now, there's 2 ways of this mission going a little bit. If you're Michael when the mission begins, you will have to go to the airport and follow Trevor back to your hometown of North Yankton in Canada. Obviously, I don't think that's a real place because it's Grand Theft Auto. They can't use real places. And talk to Dave that Trevor's figured it out. And on the flip side, if you're Trevor going into this mission, you will steal Michael's car and go all the way to the Alamo Sea in the desert and go to your own plane and fly all the way there. And then once we get there, Trevor is finally digging and digging and digging and finds the truth. Brad's been dead for 10 years. And a big fight happens between Michael and Trevor where the whole banter happens, not revealing everything, that it was technically all a setup. But Trevor still makes a comment that it was supposed to be Trevor in the ground or both him and Brad. And Trevor points out that the only thing that wasn't planned was him showing up 10 years later. I hate it when best friends fight in video games, but this is done very, very well. I mean, yeah, they kind of got through the bullshit a little bit in the beginning of the missions, like when Trevor first comes to Los Santos. But to have all that doubt and unanswered questions kind of build up to this moment, it's a big moment in this game, and I really, really... I mean, yeah, it's kind of said to the player early that Brad's dead, But to see Trevor's shocked face, I mean, I'm glad that they didn't keep it from the player, because I don't think it would have had as much impact. And then we have to fight a whole bunch of the triad guys who were sent there to kill Trevor for, you know, basically screwing out on a deal. And then Michael gets captured, and then Trevor's flying his plane back to the airfield and everything. It's a really good mission near the end of the game, and I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, 2 more missions beat it out, and they are some of the best in the game. Next! 3 words, guys, that make this mission one of the best ones in the game. The big one. The big one! The big heist that this game has been hinting at from near the start. The Union's Depository, where all the gold and all the money is stored. Now, there's 2 ways of doing it. You can go smart or you can go dumb. Dumb is where you create a distraction at the front while we drill into the vault and steal all the gold. And we take it by cargo train and put it onto a train. Now, there's a lot of preparation for that, which is really annoying. And that's why I love the subtle approach, where we steal the van. No, wait, we don't steal the van yet. We soup up 4 really quick, fast cars. We have to make sure that they can handle the weight of the gold, and for fun, just customize each color for however you want, which again is beautiful. We then spike strip the armored truck, and we go basically a Trojan horse and go right in, and we take the gold. And honestly, it's very simplistic, but at the same time, you need to have, like, in the game, you have to have perfect drivers, perfect gunmen, perfect hacker. I always go with the same hacker for every single mission, but you need to have the drivers. There's one expert driver it's kind of like a global event, where you'll find her along the highway going into Trevor's area. Any one of the characters can find this woman crashed and save her, bring her back to the plate, bring her back to get patched up, and she's a perfect second driver. Because all the other than Eddie Cho, all the other drivers will suck. So we steal the gold, then we hack into the traffic lights to get our guys to the area while stopping the police from getting to us. It's a really fun mini puzzle. And then we have to take down a whole bunch of armed guards. And then we go right, and then we get back into the cars, we drive off, and we have to lose the cops for a little bit. And then at an underpass, we go right into 2 trucks, and then we escape. It's one of the most brilliantly done Ocean's 11-ish heist ever, and it works wholeheartedly. There's a lot of preparation to do. There's a lot to do, but it's worth it. It's the best heist in the game, and it's beautifully done. Unfortunately, it's ruined by Trevor, Michael, and Franklin running their mouths and having everyone fight a little bit after they literally pulled off the best heist in history. And that's what leads us to our number 1. Now, this was on the list of my worst missions years ago because of the outcome, either killing Trevor or killing Michael. For anyone with a brain who obviously picked choice number 3, so Devin Weston comes and tells Franklin to get rid of Michael because he screwed up a business opportunity for him. And the FIB tell him to get rid of Trevor because Trevor's not manageable. The third way has Franklin going to Lester and basically asking him what to do. And what we decide is that Merriweather and the FIB or the agency, which is a separate law enforcement group, we tell them where we're melting down all the gold we stole, and then we corner them. So Franklin picks up Lamar, who's a real one for helping out. And honestly, again, another reason why I love Lamar. Even though this is the most dangerous thing to happen, he's still on board, because that's a real friend right there. And Michael and Trevor have a little bit of a truce going on as we shoot down a whole bunch of the agency and the Merriweather guys. And it's just all in all fun. And Lamar is actually useful in this. And then once that happens, the best part of the mission happens, where we have to, as they say, we need to silence a good number of old friends. A lot of old friends. But we just need to get rid of a couple noisy people, as it said. And this is the best part of the final mission, where we get to eliminate the people who've caused us problems from not the start of the game, but overall through the game. The people who cause us the most problems, like Dave, not Dave Norton, because he's on our side, and we need a guy to clean up the mess. We got Steve Haynes, we got Devin Weston, Stretch, and obviously Wei Chang, the triad dude who tries to kill Trevor. One thing I love is that each person gets to eliminate one person, and you don't get to pick who goes after who. It's already preset. And the way we have to get rid of them, like in order to get 100% in the mission, is genius. Trevor gets to take out Stephen Haynes, the FIB jackass. Shotgun. Wanted to ice that fucker ever since I met him. And I agree with you, Trevor. I wanted to get rid of Haynes from the moment we met him in this game. So on the Ferris wheel, he's recording his show. We take a sniper rifle, take nice aim, and it's just beautifully done. And then Michael gets rid of Stretch by going to the what's it called? The center, which is where Franklin lives, and we just take a melee weapon and we just get rid of Stretch. I swear to God, he has been a thorn in our side since the very get-go when he got out. And honestly, such a pain in the ass character. And then Franklin takes care of the triad guys, and the best way to do it is throw sticky bombs onto their cars and just kaboom. And then Trevor goes to get Devin Weston for us. And it's great. We take out his private army around his house. We can do it stealthily, or we can go in guns a-blazing. And then we kidnap Mr. Weston and throw him into the back of his car and drive him all the way out to Ravine. While in the trunk, he tries to negotiate with Trevor. It doesn't work. You can't give what you don't have, and Trevor's got what he needs. Try to offer him a business opportunity. He has his own company, TP Enterprises. And trying to bribe him and say that Michael was an issue and that's why he wanted to get rid of him. You are thinking it rationally. I want to watch you floating in our consciousness as you're slowly disemboweled. Trevor's way of putting things is very disturbing. And another good point, he's gold rich. So you have nothing to offer. And I love that going all the way to his end. And when Michael and Franklin get there, we have a little bit of talking with Devin, saying that he basically thought he was big and bad enough and no one could touch him. But you can't count on crazy. And after we push the car into the ravine, we go back to being oddly adjusted friends. And it's very evident that Michael's therapist has a lot to answer for. I hate myself. But at least I know the words for it. Okay, yeah, but I hate you, and I know the words for it. So does that mean I don't need therapy? And that is basically the final mission of the game. And I know I dragged on a lot, but the final mission is beautiful. Anyone who decided to kill Michael or Trevor, yeah, you picked the wrong decision, my friends. The third way is the best, one of the best final missions in a game, period, as it ties up a lot of loose ends, and it does it in a way that's fitting for each character, and getting rid of some of the big threats in the game, and some of them who are just minor threats. But at the same time, it's done really beautifully. Like having each character get rid of a very annoying character who was not villains, but not the main villain. And I really do enjoy that. And that was my top 13 Grand Theft Auto 5 missions, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, a little odd topic for around Christmas time. But I promise you, next year I will hopefully have a little bit more Christmassy list for you. So, like, comment, subscribe down below. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. And to end the year, join me next week as I come up with the best scenario for a brawl between the greatest fight the pirate world will ever see. This is Gamer K, logging out.